Hello, I know what you're thinking. This is not the initiation video. No, it is not. Because I'm struggling to find moments where my family is not the loudest, noisiest family in the world who wakes up whenever I wake up. And it always seems like a good idea when I do it. So, we're going to have a movement video that I had planned for right after the initiation. Right, something's falling always in here. That I had planned after the initiation right now to just relax and loosen up, and I will be doing the initiation video ASAP. Because okay, the issue is that it's like, it's the little kid squeals are fine usually, or like, the husband yelling at the game, whatever, video games that he plays. But you know, for the initiation video, I just want it to be able to be clear, concise, feel special, and have minimal distractions. Like, if there's going to be distractions, let it be at the end when we're losing interest anyway, Like, not at the beginning, not for the silent, beautiful parts. I digress. That's why we're having this video right now. I hope you enjoy. I hope it, inspires something in you and gets you feeling good. The movement videos are usually y'all's favorites. So that's why I was like, let's do a movement for each gateway. And then what we're going to do is do something else for each gateway later on. But we have other stuff to be moving on to. We're getting so far behind schedule. So I need to just hop on, get some of these videos done that I can get done. And um, yeah, so let's start with that chap. So we're going to be doing 11 movements, so, or 12, sorry, 12 for each of the gateways, as well as we finish off our year with a combo of work, sacred work, and divine timing. That's this month. And then next month we do conjure. So those are the two gateways that I've kind of tacked on at the end. The work and the time one is something Queen does. It's conjure is something we do, right? All right, before we get started real quick, I'm also going to explain that there probably is going to be a bunch of cutting of these scenes in this video just because we've been having fires out here in California, and these fires been doing havoc on my neck, on my throat. I walked home the other day through a like just from like it was literally a mile up the road from the old people's home. I went there for a jazz concert and walked home, and I was like, damn, this whole city smells like barbecue, and the smoke is thick enough that you can see it. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. I've lived here my whole life mostly, and yeah, crazy, especially in this part of the Bay. Or I guess like I have never lived in San Mateo. I've lived in like a few miles up the road. I've lived in like the San Carlos, Redwood City area, but not San Mateo. So maybe it's something they've experienced here before. I just know I walked through that, and ever since then, I've been coughing up lungs, y'all. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, but I don't really have bronchitis, y'all. I'm just coughing a lot. So that's that. And then also, if you'll notice, I took down all of our decor from the wall. So it's now just sitting on and it's poking out the drawers and looking messy. But I hope you'll forgive while I revamp up, and that's my quilt I put up. I put up there just to see it. And it's as strange when I picked up that sheet and I started it. I was like, this is just gonna be a little twin quilt. And now I'm like, this is not a twin sized anything. Why didn't I just open it? Why did I assume I knew in my brain what I owned? Anyway, for our first gateway, the gateway of the sacred womb, we're going to be moving through the first 8 movements in your Sacred Woman book. If you don't have your book, just follow along, watch along with me. I'm going to be playing the song, the Sacred Woman Prayer for this one. So we know the words, right? So you can say them if you'd like, and just internalize them if you'd like. But now you see why I did this video, so I can overdub everything. So you don't have to hear screams and such, and we can maintain that peaceful, sacred attitude while I get the final video, the initiation video done.
Sacred women in the making. Sacred women, reawaken. Repeat this prayer with me as you open up your palms to divinity or gently place them over your heart. Recite.
Sacred Spirit, hold me near, close to your bosom. Protect me from all harm and fear beneath the stones of life. Direct my steps in the right way as I journey through this vision. Sacred Spirit, surround me in your most absolute perfect light. Anoint me in your sacred purity, peace and divine insight. Bless me, truly bless me, as I share this sacred life. Teach me, Sacred Spirit, to be in tune with the universe, how to heal with the inner and outer elements of air, fire, water, and earth.
Sacred Spirit, hold me near, close to your bosom. Protect me from all harm and fear beneath the stones of life. Direct my steps in the right way as I journey through this vision. Sacred Spirit, surround me in your most absolute
Gateway to Sacred Words, I thought it would be a really beautiful idea to take your favorite deck or divination method and get yourself a message to meditate on about your sacred words, about how you've been doing, or about what your base, level of response should be. And, so I shuffled my deck. I went ahead and pulled a card. This is the Levita Rue Little Red One divination deck. And it was my first deck. It was my first deck, y'all, and I love it. It's so beautiful. I'm so sad that, y'all, if you have this deck, please send me your copy of the instructions, because my kids, y'all, my kids spilled stuff all around my altar, like, last year, or the year before that, maybe even. It's been a while. Anyway, they spilled some all over. I think it was like, they spilled, like, yeah, I don't even know, oil or something random. And it ruined it, y'all. It ruined it. So, I mean, I can still read the deck. Obviously, it's got some pretty clear symbolism, but still, I would love that. I wish, there was like a PDF. We need a PDF. That's what I need. So, or EPUB. That's the future. Hey. No, I'm kidding. Okay. But, love. I have a very simple message today. The deck was like, girl, just move with some love, embody the message of love, embody thinking about speaking from a place of love, and what that brings to other people. That's what I'll be doing. So whatever your card or your message is that you should be meditating on, maybe it's a little more complex, maybe your word situation is a little more complex. You're having trouble expressing yourself to people. You're having issues having people listening. I think I have that issue right now too. Having people, understand where I'm coming from, and not like take it from a place of where I would have been coming from 5 years ago, even like 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm coming from it from a totally different place, and I'm like expecting all sorts of response. But there I am. I need to be coming from more of a place of love, and perhaps if I am exuding that love more, people will be more willing to try to understand me. It's my hope. That's what I'm hoping this card means. So this is a arm movement dance. Y'all, that's like one of my most viewed videos. Y'all love that shit. I love that shit too. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Because of that video, wasn't sure I was gonna upload, because I was like, this is weird. This is just me sitting. But at any rate, get your card ready. Have it there, or whatever your divination method is. Have it, available. If you journal it down, you can just put it down and then look at it. Look at the journal entry, you know what I'm saying? If it's not something that's conducive to just have all out laid out in front of you. So, I hope your message is clear, understanding, and something that you're willing to meditate on through the movements. We are, of course, going to be listening to Heka Woo. If you remember Gateway 1 Sacred Words, you remember all this. So we're gonna be, I think I'm gonna skip a good portion of the song, because I'm pretty sure the beginning is a pretty long song, and I'm pretty sure the beginning is like more of like a talking call and response type of acting skit, and we'll just skip over that part.
Divine Creator, assist me in speaking.
May my words be anointed. May my words not damage a soul. Divine Mother, assist me in speaking. Words of power, words that heal, words that transform. And words that build. Help me guard my words. So no venom passes my lips, and no destruction comes from my speech. If my words show me to be out of divine right order, may my mind and my mouth be cleansed. May my words be lotus blossoms that encourage all the souls I meet to reach a greater height. May my words speak with your breath and sing your sweet song of life. May goodness and mercy follow me
All right, so just in case you're crazy and you are going to be doing this all at once, I don't know why, but this is going to be kind of a long video, and I'm probably not going to be doing it all, at once. Um, I have to go cook my kids some food. But this next one is going to slow it down a little bit. We are on Gateway to Sacred Foods. And for this one, I wanted to get in tune with the body. Really get in tune with how the body reacts. And, you know, thinking about how each part of our body feels, right? Thinking about how it all connects, really trying to connect with these poses, connect with our body, connect with how we've been fueling our body and treating our body, how we've been even thinking about our body. That often happens, right? All of a sudden you're like, shit, I ain't even been thinking about any of that. That's also a relationship that we have with sacred foods, with our body. And another relationship with sacred foods is when it starts to really consume you, that like everything has to be sacred, it has to be perfect, it has to be this, it has to be that. And if it isn't that, then it can be nothing at all, or you failed, or some equivalent of that. And that's also a whole other side of, it's not necessarily that it's toxic, I'm not sure the word I would use, but it's not as healthy as a lot of people might assume, this purity complex, this it needs to be this, it needs to be that. And there are people for whom that lifestyle works. Also, there are people for whom have signed up for that lifestyle, because they've signed up as a priestess of a certain group that adheres to certain rules. So then obviously certain things apply. But for the most of us, our lives should not be dictated as though we are two steps behind where we're supposed to be at all times, that we are never enough, that we could always be doing better, that we're beating ourselves up, that like, oh, like I can't believe it, I'm no longer sacred, or like I'm a cheater. If only everyone knew what my home was really like. Like, no, like, you're a human and you're living, and likely your sacred work is not as a full-time priestess. Likely it has something to do with a bunch of other things, which is why on Spiritual Black Girls I'll share things that seemingly have nothing to do with being spiritual, because your sacredness should be in any business that you choose, right? You should have a business altar no matter what you do. You should have an altar even if you work for somebody else, even if you don't own your own business, right? So it's like whether you make juice, you make beautiful ceramic things, you make waste feeds, which can be spiritual, but they can also be purely aesthetic. Whether, there's so many little clothes, different tools. There's so many little things that I share on there, because I want to emphasize that your sacredness is not that necessarily you're an initiated this, that, and the third, that you don't necessarily have to be an initiated this, that, and the third. The basics of hoodoo, the basics of conjure for Black Americans is, it's your birthright. You talk to your ancestors, you have an altar, they work with you in your everyday life, you can elevate them, you can communicate with them, you can employ them in authorize them throughout your everyday life. Occasionally you may find yourself, hey, I don't know the next step here, or I'd like a outside point of view because I'm overly emotional about this situation. And so then you go hire somebody, go consult somebody else, maybe a professional, maybe just a friend who also understands this or has a clear head. And it just depends on the level of the situation that you're in, what you need. And I think that's really important to remember. So anyways, we're going to, if you hear these binaural beats in the background, that's the type of music that we're going to be listening to for this next one, as we really connect with our body, connect with the food, connect with our current situation, whatever that is. And I want you to practice in this moment being mindful and being okay. I want this to be like a mindful, yoga type session wherein you're thinking about food, you're thinking about the sacred foods, your body, the connection between your body, nature, the land, but you're also thinking that you're okay. You're accepting everything that it is. Okay? You're not stressed, you're not crazy, because once you start thinking about the land, I know indigenous folks, once we start thinking about the land and then we start feeling helpless, it's like the culture, the culture on food here, like what am I supposed to do? And then they've locked us up in these cities basically, and what are we supposed to be fucking doing? You know what I mean? It can get into a trail. But at this time, even with climate change, even with food issues, food deserts, and refugees, and all these little things, just practice being at peace with the present moment, and practice being not just like the anxiety, feeding the anxiety back and forth, but instead focus at just that being at peace. We're not even going to look for solutions right now, right? This is just about releasing burdens that really, it does not serve anybody any good for you to be carrying. And that goes from the microscopic little, I'm the worst because I ate a hot dog the other day, or all I can afford is, you know, the food that's non-vegan, that's not sacred, pure, whatever. Even if it's just releasing that, all the way up to whatever stresses that you may be carrying, burdens of the world, anxieties, maybe just your family, maybe all those things. Just be at ease in the moment. So we're going to be continuing through our sacred movements in the Sacred Woman book. This is, we're starting on number 9, and we will be going to, oh, I just skipped a whole page. I'm like, this is like, what? This ended quick. Okay. We're doing 9 to 14. 9 to 14. So this one starts us in our mountain. The mountain is so good because, right, it's we're already into nature. We're already connecting, and I think these poses, when you get into them real deep, so we're going to be pausing into each of them for about like a minute each, and during that time, just take that time to really connect with your body, connect with, you know, the cycle around you, and to just be at peace at what is, and to think about all those moving parts objectively, and not, you know, over emotionally, not, stay centered. That's what I'm saying. Stay centered, and, you know, don't approach it from too emotional of a space.
protect your energy. You are protected. You are protected. Slow down. Calm down your energy. Calm down. Slow down. Slow down your energy. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Eventually. Protect your energy. I am protected. I am protected. I am protected. I have protection. Calm down.
So our next video is going to take us back in time to our womb wellness journey dance. There is a video for that, and we also did that in a circle, I believe. So we already know the moves. You already know this one. Let's bust it out to the song We Remember.
They say our way is dead. They say our way is no more. And that the Nile Valley legacy ended thousands of years ago. But we are here, and we do remember. I am the shrine. I am the temple. I am the sanctuary. I am the church. I am the mosque. I am the cathedral. I am holy land. I am the altar. It is lodged in our DNA, tapped down deep in our melanin, our Kamor. So we traveled deep within, and we fasted and we prayed. And then one day, one by one, Jah Rastafari, Shalom, Hamdulillah, Hare Krishna, Hare Bo. Then two by two, Namyo Kurenge Yo, Hallelujah, Aho, Ashe. Then thousands began to wake up to the ancient healing Nile Valley legacy. Etapu, to the returning lotus woman within you.
We are here.
of sacred beauty, we are going to be dancing to the song I Come Forth, I Shine. This is a really good song for helping us remember not just that we are sacred beauty or to strive towards sacred beauty, but also to strive to see the sacred beauty in things. And so in that way, this song is a bit of a rebirthing into a new way of looking at life, into a new way of seeing ourselves and of presenting ourselves. And that's the energy that I'd love for you to channel. This song, I'm just going to have my mott wings on and channel that energy of beauty and rebirth and looking at the world with loving eyes and eyes that can see that beauty.
I am asked, the Great Mother. I come forth, I shine. I go in and I come to life. My seat is on my throne. I sit in the pupil of my eye by it. I have commanded my seat. I rule it by my mouth, speaking and in silence. I maintain an exact balance, season from season. What is in the divine, I am one, coming from the Almighty One. My seat is on my throne, and I shall not be moved.
The Sacred Space song is always a favorite of anyone who hears it. It just brings out that joy and that love. So we're going to be listening to the song This Is Our House. We are going to be feeling the jubilation of having a space that we can make sacred, that we're happy we have a roof over our head. We're happy that we have our body. Our body is a sacred space. This is our house as well. And all of these things, one of the beautiful tenets, I think, of Conjure is how you do something sacred by cleansing. You do something sacred when you clean your house. You do something sacred when you bathe, you cleanse yourself. You do something sacred in those moments. And in that way, you know, applying the sacred and getting juju moving in your own life is so accessible. You know, it's so accessible. We all do know how to clean. And we all do know, you know, sometimes we just need that reminder. You know, that all you have to do is clean this up. Let's clean this situation up. So this is my house is going to be our little testament of joy to our homes, to ourselves, to our body, to this sense of home that our ancestors give us. All those really wonderful, warm feelings that we associate with sacred space.
This is our time. This is our day. This is our hour to be alive. Uh-huh. This is our time. Uh-huh. This is our day. Uh-huh. This is our house. David Het. This is our time. Uh-huh. got to release all that's been. Let go of all the pain. That past that's been holding us back. The work, you can't pass it by. You must do it if you want to fly, 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 fly. This is our time. This is our day. This is our house. Never had. This is our time. This is our day. This is our house. Never had. This is our time. This is our time. This is our 'cause when you leave your house, leave your soul, leave your soul, then it make you feel whole. When you leave your soul, then you leave your life, then you know you feel right. Leave your house when you leave your house, leave your soul, then you know you feel whole. Leave your soul, then you leave your life, then you know you feel right. Clean it up, pick it up, wash it up, scrub it, give it love, give it back. Rinse your heart, rinse your soul, pick it up, clean it up, wash it up, scrub it up, give it love, give it back, give it heart. This is our time. This is our day. This is our house. Never had. This is our house. Never had. This is our house.
Make it always seem totally overboard with the theatrics, especially with all these costume changes. Hey, it doesn't have to be a full-on production, y'all. It can be very simple. It can be very different. It doesn't have to be what everybody else is doing. Really remember to move intuitively throughout this whole thing. And with that, I bringing you on to the next sequence, Sacred Healing. Double check. Yes, indeed. Hold on. Sorry, my Instacart delivery was here. That was like the best gift I could have ever gotten myself for my birthday, was a year delivery of Instacart. Which, I mean, it's hard to be so happy just because they don't, I'm familiar with the delivery system. I saw it start with Google Express and then Uber, and then now we have the food delivery, and it never ends well for the delivery people. One of my husband's friends has been on the forefront of every single one of those, and it always starts off really well and never ends well because they're usually the ones who get screwed over when they need to meet a bottom line. However, y'all, there is nothing like not having to walk miles to the store with children and loading shit up in a stroller and walking back home. There's nothing like skipping that process and having it at your home in 2 hours so you can cook some dinner, or 5 hours if it's a Saturday. Anyways, my plan for this particular session was to focus on simple healing energy. Now, I wanted us to stay low, centered. You can be sitting crisscross, you can be sitting like me, you can lounge, I don't know. I was also going to encourage you to have a smoke cleansing stick on you so that you can really focus on the smoke, the energy of that, the what you're creating around you. And so in that way, the movements that you get lost in are perhaps a little more healing, centered around that, and less around, when when your body gets caught up in the performance and the and gets lost in the movement, and then you're like, whoa, I've just been like freestyle dancing, and did I concentrate on what I was trying to concentrate on? The last song is super easy to concentrate, just because it's like, clean your house. Yeah, like, yes, clean it up, wash it up. You're ready. You know exactly what you're talking about, whether it be your body, your actual house, the situation that you're thinking of, you're on it. You know what I'm saying? But there's, there's other issue. There's other, things that come up for other songs and other situations. So that's why for this one, for the Mud Woman Clan, we're going to focus on that type of healing energy. So get your cinnamon stick ready. Usually, this is pro tip. People always say, like, oh, my cinnamon stick goes out so fast. Y'all, get a tea light. And when you're, prepping for everything, just set your your cinnamon stick right on there and let it get a good burn going, and it will typically last. Right now, I don't know how long the one I have is gonna really burn, because this one was in a spiritual bath I was in, and it had soaked to be this really deep red color, but then when it dried, it went back to brown. So that's why I had kept it, and it doesn't light as well as other sticks do. But usually, it if it's just a plain old cinnamon stick that you haven't been messing with, it should get a nice good burn from the tea light, and then you can wave it around and enjoy its company.
I'm in the Mud Woman Clan, hey, hey. I'm in the Mud Woman Clan, hey. Yeah, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Hey, 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 yeah, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Woman of the earth, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Of divine spirit, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Devotee of the flame movement, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Thanks and honor to the mother, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Mother side of the creator, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. I offer this vow to you, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. To the great mother to earth, I'm in the Mud Woman Clan. Heal us throughout causing me longevity.
actually explained why we were using the song Beloved, however, just real quick. I love how the song focuses on the beauty within, on, I think it's such a good song to be calling those healthy, loving relationships, those relationships where people cherish each other with a sense of community, with a sense of longevity. And that's the kind of relationships that we're trying to pull into our lives, the kind of relationship we're trying to have with ourselves, trying to have with others, trying to build for the future, right, as we work towards world peace and things like that. So that is why I chose the song Beloved for sacred relationship.
Hey Teru, you're beautiful. Hey Teru, your principles have touched my femininity. Hey Teru, you've blessed my heart. Hey Teru, won't you please impart your secrets and your mysteries? Beloved, 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 beloved. Pure blessings from my heart, pure blessings from my soul. I'll share my love for all to see. Beloved, 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 beloved. Who would believe your grace would move me so that I'd be admiring you? Who would have known that not so long ago I could ever be so impressed with you? And Haru, pure blessings from my heart, pure blessings from my soul. I'll share my love for all to see. Beloved, 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 beloved. Sister Queen, you should remember, beauty comes from within. I don't think she's all that. Now that's not hetero. Beloved, oh beloved, beloved, beautiful, beloved, 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 beautiful.
Time for Gateway 8 Sacred Union. And for this one, I've decided we're going to be a little more dramatic and, wild and uninhibited, because sacred relationships, those are relationships that aren't necessarily sexual, right? So you can have sacred relationships with most anyone or anything, but the sacred union is a little bit different. And I do think that it can celebrate yourself. That's, well, a lot of what Queen talks about in this chapter, but she also talks about it as a way to, call someone to you if you'd like them to come to you, to heal a relationship you have, to mend one that is finishing up, to, use as closure. So we are going to be indulging in a little FKA Twigs, her song Holy Terrain. You may remember that from about a month and a half or two ago. And I think it's just such a beautiful message. And, you can kind of change who you're talking to in the situation accordingly. As per usual, I will just be nixing Future's part. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. And that's okay. He doesn't have to be here. And so without further ado, oh, sorry, I forgot to say the rules for this dance is that we're staying on the ground. We are, being more uninhibited, feeling the words, pushing our bodies. That, right? Isn't that what, like, unions are about, is pushing your limits, facing things that you've never thought you were going to face before, maybe even didn't want to face, but now, due to circumstances, you will be, due to love, due to necessity, however it may work out. So, that's the theme for this sacred union dance. We're going to be keeping low. I don't know, I just thought it might be fun to be on the floor and try just dancing down here. Because it's, it's always easy. Footwork's easy to me. I'm like, whatever, I'm like, all right, we just stomped it out, I could crip walk for days. But, I thought it might be a bit of a challenge to come down here and try and express ourselves in a different way that, us who are not actually dancers may not do very often.
Yo, put up, let me do my dance in this bitch. Gon' be crazy clothes. Made 100 bands off a brick. Made 100 bands off a brick per day. Yo, send my girl to church with some drug money. Total paper ties, thank you, damn.
Do you want take me to my favorite show? Day 2, hold my hand and pull me close. Next to me, kiss my cheek, cause early days. Day 3, take me to a deep river, steal a kiss when I'm lost in the mist. Will you still be there for me, once I'm yours to obtain? What's my fruits of a taking, and you flow through my veins? Do you still think I'm beautiful, when my tears fall like rain? Love is so bountiful. For a man who's true to me, for a man who can follow his heart, not get bound by his poison, his chains. For a man who can follow his heart and stand up in my holy terrain. My skin right, hot pink when you open up my sweet thighs. Pull you in and your life can begin, cause it's early days. Will you still be there for me? Now I'm yours to obtain. Now my fruits are the taking, and your fingers are stained. Do you still think I'm beautiful, when you light me in flames? My love is so bountiful. Not get bound by his poison, his chains. For a man who can follow his heart and stand up in my holy terrain.
Isn't the last one so much fun? I think it's so much fun to try new things. I definitely need to try that one more because I was like, oh, I don't know really what to do down here. This is so different. Anyways, we'll have to do something else similar to that another time. But for now, we're moving on through the gateways, and it is time for Gateway 9, the final gateway with chapters in initiation, right? The one we're on. And for this one, I thought we would do something very beautiful, flowy, and we would move to the Erica Badu song on the Sacred Woman Medicine CD, which is the Freedom Cry of Mods. So get ready to be a sacred lotus woman, bringing forth a new era to your people, to your community, to your family, to yourself, to your own life, right? And let's celebrate ourselves, celebrate our journeys, celebrate how far we've walked and how far we have to come.
Spend so much time searching for me inside an empty space. Instead of watching, I did not pay attention to what it was that I should see. Maintain all you are. Stay on your throne through deliberate purification.
your star. Spread your wings and fly. Spread your wings and fly through deliberate purification. Find your way back to your star.
November Gateway is Meshkinet, finding the finding your sacred work, learning how to work in a sacred way, learning how to apply sacred principles to your business, to your work, to your financial situation, and really embracing the ups and downs as well as preparing for them, recognizing that life is a roller coaster and there are going to be ups and downs. So there's only so high up you should be living when it's up, because you should be preparing for the downs, right? And also, really trying to make sure that what you're doing is your calling, right? You're not being led by other people's ideas of what your calling is, being forced into wasting portions of your life doing what other people's dreams for you are, but instead really, focusing on what yours are. So with that in mind, our song for today is a very fun one, called Money Is Coming to Me by Eddie Watkins Jr. He's a very, very talented musician, right? We have so many, right? We invented all the musical genres of America, so little wonder that we do. But this song is very funky, and so with it, I encourage you to sing along the words, feel the words, believe the words, dance, obviously, because who doesn't when there's something funky playing, and really internalize this one, as well as add this song to your little repertoire of songs to use during your root work and sections to conjure things up. Music is such a powerful tool, and I think this brother did such a good job making this song. It's just so lovely. Who can't appreciate some Eddie Watkins Jr.? One time I tried to see if I could see him live, but he only plays at churches, of course. So, anyways, enjoy this song.
Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me. Money is coming to me. I can just feel it, and I believe money keeps coming to me. It's coming to me now, and I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. enough to share. I feel like it's already here. More than enough to shout. More than enough to drive. More than enough to say. With plenty left over to give away. One day is coming to me. I can just feel it. And I believe it's coming to me now. And I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. Come on.
Let's face it, you're tired, I'm tired, but we still have one more gateway to go. And that is our added gateway of conjured root work, ancestor veneration. And in this way, I decided, instead of my original plan of us doing some ancestor music like fife and drums, which I always pull out when I have an excuse, you know me, I decided we would do my favorite song from the Sacred Woman CD, which is I Wrote a Letter to Myself. And I thought this song would be really helpful for this conjure ancestor veneration gateway, spirit energy. That was a very long sentence to explain what I mean. But I thought it might, fit with the theme of this gateway because it's like a simple root working method, right? To write something down, say it out loud, say it with conviction, etc., etc. So I thought that that's kind of what this is. It's like working roots on yourself, writing that letter to yourself. I love you more and more each day, telling yourself that. That's why this is one of my favorites. I'm always repeating those words to myself and singing them to me, it just uplifts my spirit. It brings me back in my center. It's just one of those little ways. So that's part of why I chose that. And then also, I love the saying, I am my ancestors, you are your ancestors. So in that way, when you write that letter to yourself, saying you love yourself more and more each day, you're saying you love your bloodline, you're loving everyone who came before you, you're loving everyone who's coming after you. And so I think that also spoke to the theme of this gateway. So without further ado, we will start this song. I will not be doing a little thing at the end, so please go ahead and like and subscribe, share. Please leave a comment. I love when people comment, especially on the movement videos, and definitely catch me for the next video where I will be catching us up and doing it all, right? Doing it all. So until next time, may your ancestors and spirit guides be with you at every crossroads. And thank you so much for joining me on this long movement video.
Loving myself has been difficult. Simply to be who I am, just to believe that who I am is perfect. Looking in the mirror, here's my chance. I wrote a letter to myself and I sent it right away. I said I love you more and more each day. I wrote a letter to myself and I sent it right away. I said I love you more and more each day. I looked at my face, my eyes, my smile, and that's when I realized it had been here all
myself, so strong, tall and proud. I looked in my heart and I knew love was found. I wrote a letter to myself and I sent it right away. I said I love you more and more each day. Hey, I wrote a letter to myself and I sent it right away. I said I love you more and more each day.